Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be a this or that video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over 3 fragrances and its newest flanker, which came out this year, and letting you guys know if it's redundant, are they different enough, do you need both in your collection? Of course, this video is super subjective, just my opinions, but let's go ahead and get right into the video. All right, so first up, I'm going to be going over Dolce & Gabbana's L'Impératrice and the new L'Impératrice Royale. And the original L'Impératrice came out in 2009, and it was part of an anthology, which is why you'll see the number 3 on my bottle. The newer bottles don't have numbers on them. There was a limited edition that came out in 2020 that had additional notes of rose and I believe strawberry. And then now we have the new L'Impératrice Royale. First, we'll go over the original, and both of these are eau de toilette, and this is considered a fruity floral with key notes of watermelon accord, kiwi, pink cyclamen, sandalwood, and musk. Some additional notes are rhubarb and pink pepper. There are other notes that I've seen online, but I wanted to point out those 2 notes because I do pick those notes up in this fragrance. So this fragrance, when it opens up, to me, this is different from a lot of fruity florals out there. And the reason being is, even though I do feel like rhubarb has become very popular, what makes this one unique is the rhubarb watermelon kiwi combo that's in here. The rhubarb adds a tartness to this fragrance, but the watermelon and kiwi make this fragrance smell like a very realistic fruit salad. Think about a fruit salad, but after it's kind of been sitting out at the picnic and it's got all that sweet juice at the bottom. That's what this smells like. And then there's something tart that's coming from the rhubarb, but it's not prominent. When I first got this one, the rhubarb was very prominent, and I really didn't get the watermelon like I do now. Now that I get that kind of sugary, sweet, watery watermelon. Like if you've ever had fresh watermelon juice, that's in here. It's fresh. It's got this light aquatic dewiness to it. Very pretty for every day. So again, that's Dolce & Gabbana's L'Impératrice. Then we have the new Royale. And this very much holds the original's DNA, but it's got more going on. It has keynotes of cranberry, pink azalea, and cedarwood. Now this isn't overly woody, but it's there. What I'm getting more is that very sour cranberry. So instead of that tart, I mean, there's still a tartness, but instead of that tart rhubarb, you're getting a sour cranberry. And then in the background, especially on my skin, on paper, I don't smell it as much. I still get that kind of sugary sweet watermelon. Even though they don't list it, I get that fruit salad bowl DNA that I get in the original. This one's just got a little bit more going on, and this one does last longer. So I will say that the original is one that I have to top up. I don't smell it anymore after that 3 or 4 hour mark, even though I've had other people smell it on me. So always keep that in mind. I do believe we go nose blind to our own fragrances, but it is one that I don't mind topping up around that 3 or 4 hour mark. This one I would say is more 5 to 6. I would say around that 5 or 6 hour mark. It's one that I just don't really notice anymore, and then I do top it up. It is an eau de toilette, so it is a little bit more sheer, a little bit closer to the skin. I do enjoy having both of these. I think they are different enough. I think this is, well, I'm gonna just tell you right now, all the fragrances I'm gonna talk about, I think they did a good job at keeping the DNA, but making them different enough. So again, that's Dolce & Gabbana's L'Impératrice and the new L'Impératrice Royale. Next, we have Valentino's Donna Born in Roma, the original, the intense, and the new extra dose. First, we're gonna go over the original Donna Born in Roma. This is considered a warm floral. I would consider this a warm fruity floral. The original was released in 2019, and it has keynotes of blackcurrant, jasmine, grandiflorum, and bourbon vanilla. And to me, what makes this one popular and iconic is that kind of famous jasmine and vanilla bourbon combo. This one to me is a little bit more fresh, a little bit more flirty and fun. This used to be a date night fragrance to me until I got the intense and extra dose. I think those are louder, more sexy, a little bit more date night. This has become more of a easy wear in my collection. This is fruity. You get that black currant. I've always described black currant being two ways to my nose. It's either kind of a fresh black currant or an intoxicating kind of wine black currant. And here it's more fresh. The jasmine in here is more clean. It's not like an indolic jasmine. It's more of a clean jasmine. And then you get that bourbon vanilla. The bourbon vanilla to me is more of a slightly boozy extract vanilla. It's not cakey or overly gourmand. It's more like pure vanilla extract. And if you've smelled vanilla extract, it's got a kind of booziness to it. That's what you get. Very clean, fruity, fun, and flirty. And that's the original Donna Born in Roma. Then the Intense. This one is considered a warm floral. And this has keynotes of vanilla, jasmine, and benzoin. And there's probably other notes in here, but to me, that is what this is to its core. It's Donna Born in Roma, but stripped away of that kind of fresh fruitiness. And this one to me is more about the jasmine, the amber, and the vanilla. It's a warm jasmine vanilla fragrance to my nose. The jasmine in here is more indolic in the opening, more realistic. Not one that I'm too crazy about for the first 5 minutes, but then that goes away and this is just a beautiful, warm vanilla jasmine scent. And then the amber adds a warmth to this fragrance. This one's more date night. This is one that I have grown to love it on its own, especially now that I've let it sit. I will say if you let it sit for too long, you got to kind of clear out that nozzle because the jasmine can get a little funky in there, but it is warmer and this one's really beautiful to layer with. This layers very nicely with all of the fragrances in the line, especially Yellow Dream and Coral Fantasy, where those are more spring, summer. I'll add this when I want those fragrances in fall, and it adds this nice kind of ambery vanilla warmth to it. So very beautiful scent. And again, that's Valentino's Donna Born in Roma, the Intense version. All right, next we have Valentino's Donna Born in Roma Extra Dose. And this is what I thought the Intense was going to smell like. And when I first sprayed this, I think because it was the initial spray and the black currant with the rum, I didn't even realize this had rum. It came off a little cough syrup to me. But once I let this fragrance kind of sit and settle, I think this is almost done. Let's put it that way. I am going to be picking up a larger bottle. This one is sexy. This one has keynotes of cassis accord, rum accord, and vanilla. So this has the DNA, but whereas the Intense is more of the jasmine vanilla side of the original, this is more of the black currant and vanilla side of the original. So this one's more fruity in my opinion. It's more boozy. The black currant with the rum is making it more intoxicating. This is date night. I actually wore all three. Like I just wore all of them. But honestly, you could just do these two if you wanted to. Because I do feel like these two are the stronger and they might just take over this one. But this is a nice base. This is definitely an extra dose of the original. It's an extra dose of that black currant, the vanilla. The vanilla in here is a little bit more, I don't want to say cakey, but it is just got this light gourmand touch to it, but without it being, like I don't smell this and think of gourmand, but the vanilla in here is slightly, just a little sweeter than it is in the Intense. And I do get it a lot, but as this settles on my skin, I start to get more of the rum accord and the black currant. It's just a sexier, more boozy version of the original. But without being too boozy. Like this doesn't smell like rum. This smells like just something very intoxicating. And I also think that while all three perform, this one definitely passed my overnight test as well as the Intense. This one's just, to me now that I have this and the Flankers, this one to me is just now my everyday wear. It's a little bit fresher to my nose and more of your traditional fruity florals. So I do really enjoy the Flanker, and I am gonna wait for this to get to discounters so that I can go ahead and pick up a larger bottle, because I want to say the 50 ml of this is like $165, and I'm not going to pay that. All right, then next we have my scent of the day. We have from Marc Jacobs, we have Daisy Wild and Daisy Wild Oh So Intense. And both of these are the Eau de Parfum. So Marc Jacobs Daisy Wild, this is a floral green fruity fragrance. This has top notes of banana blossom accord, middle notes of jasmine and macadamia, and then base notes of sandalwood and vetiver. This is another gorgeous everyday scent. You get that banana blossom accord in the opening. And I would say after the 30-minute mark to an hour, it does fall off more into the background, but it's very much banana forward in the opening. This one also, the vetiver, adds like something kind of dry, a little kind of fresh spicy to the scent. And I don't really get macadamia. There is something slightly nutty to the fragrance, but it's more so with the banana in the opening. This then turns into a nice kind of fresh, spicy, clean, fruity floral. Or I should say floral, fruity fragrance. This is a fragrance that in the dry down, again, the banana accord kind of falls off a little bit. I do think there might be other fruity notes in here. I just can't quite pick them up. Maybe some kind of citrus, just something a little fresh, kind of like a bergamot or a citrus in here. But that again goes down, and then this does become a little bit more floral in the dry down. And it's what Dennis picks up more in the dry down, and why he's not the craziest with this one, but he did enjoy the new Oh So Intense. I do enjoy this one. This one's lighter, it's fresher. It's one that I like on an everyday basis. It smells clean and slightly tropical. So again, that's the original. Then the new Oh So Intense is basically what an intense should be. It is the original, so it has a DNA, but it's intensified. You get the banana flower more. This one's also a little warmer than the original, where the original is more fresh and clean. This one's clean, but it's got a warmth to it. You could still wear this one year round, but it is a little warmer. And even though they don't have macadamia, I do get something a little bit more nutty in this one than I do in the original, but they don't list it. This one has top notes of banana blossom, middle notes of jasmine, and then base notes of amber and sandalwood. The banana blossom definitely lasts longer in this one, and this one to me is more of a warm fruity floral. And I think that the amber helps keep it a little bit more warm and fruity throughout the life of the fragrance. And then I still get that kind of clean sense from like the jasmine. It's the louder version, but they made some slight tweaks that I think make it beautiful and different enough that I like having both in my collection. Dennis complimented me on this one, but not wearing it alone. I wore this and layered Royale, and he said I smelled good. So he did like this combination. I just think this one's a little fruitier, which is what he prefers in fragrances. And even though it is just predominantly like a banana blossom note in here, it's one that I pick up throughout the life of the fragrance. This one's more tropical to my nose than the original. Still beautiful. This one I like because it's fresh, it's clean, and this one's just a little warmer and a little bit more tropical and fruity. So again, that's Daisy Wild, Oh So Intense, and the original. So just to kind of summarize, when it comes to L'Impératrice, I would say if you're looking for a fruity floral, but one a little bit more aquatic, a little bit more intimate, still with a little tartness, but sweet with that kind of watermelon, I would say go for the original. You want the original, but maybe something a little more sour. It has a little bit more of a woody base, not overly woody. This to me is not a woody fragrance, but it's got a little bit more going on. But again, it still holds the DNA. I would say go for Royale. If you want a fresh, kind of flirty, fun, fruity floral, I would say go for the original Donna Born in Roma. If you want something a little more sexy, a little bit more going out, I would say go for Extra Dose. And if you are into warm florals, still holding the DNA, just not as fruity, a little bit more vanilla, warm, ambery, I would say go for the Intense. And then if you're looking for a floral, slightly fruity, a little tropical, kind of fresh, slightly green scent, I would say go for Daisy Wild, the original. You're looking for another tropical fruity floral, a little less floral, a little bit more fruity, you want a note of banana, a little warmer, I would say go for the intense version. So that is my this or that video. Let me know in the comments below, have you guys tried any of these fragrances and which ones are your favorite? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Now I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.